And here we go again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. We have with us on the line the trainer of Martin Bakole on the left. You'll see Billy Nelson. On the right of the picture, you'll see Martin Bakole. We have on the line with us the trainer of Martin Bakole, the unbeaten heavyweight, Billy Nelson. Billy, how are we doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Let's crack this volume up so people can hear you.
I said, I'm fine, thanks.
Great stuff, Billy. So, how have things been? What's been going on? And here we go again. Good morning, good afternoon. There we go. Got a bit of feedback. We're good now, Billy. So what's been going on, Billy?
I'll just keep myself busy in the gym. I've got a few new signings, getting David Brophy ready for his fight. We've been getting some good sparring down in Manchester from Stephen Ward and Jamie Moore's gym. We've been made very welcome there, and we're going down again next week. And I'm just waiting on Martin Bakole getting his working visa, and he'll be coming back hopefully within the next week to 10 days.
Okay, so I know you saw our story, the breaking story about Uncle James Ali Bashir, who has decided or has retracted his comments about his fighter Serenko going to spar with Povetkin, and now they're on the verge of closing a deal for Serenko to spar with Anthony Joshua and be in the Joshua camp. So your thoughts?
Oh, I'm led to believe that Serenko's a good fighter. We've personally been asked by Eddie Hearn and Robert McCracken to be Anthony's main sparring partner for 4-5 weeks. Hopefully this will be starting a week on Monday, depending on the visa, whenever Martin's visa gets issued. So we'll be going down to Sheffield for 4 or 5 weeks and getting Anthony prepared for the Pulev fight.
Povetkin, not Pulev. Let's hope it's Povetkin.
I apologise. I've been also asked to spar for Pulev in Bulgaria. Which I've also been asked that, and we've also been asked to spar Hughie Fury.
Okay, fantastic. So, how is that going to work out? The one with you between Pulev and Hughie Fury. How can you spar both Pulev and Hughie Fury? That would be a conflict of interest, wouldn't it?
Well, no, we wouldn't do that. No. Both were told that I'd arranged to spar Anthony Joshua for 4 or 5 weeks, and until I got that confirmed, which I did last week, I couldn't commit myself to either of those fighters. Okay,
so the news would be you're just waiting on a visa for Bakole, and then he will be going to spar with Anthony Joshua.
I'm going to do, yes. We're going to spar for 4 or 5 weeks with him. We've previously sparred with Anthony, and he knows that, you know, I gave him his best spar out of all the sparring partners were by far. He knows that he can get rounds out of Martin, 10 rounds, no problem. So that's why we've been invited back to give him the best possible preparation for his fight.
So how Martin Bakole, what, 6'4", isn't he not? Or 6'5"?
6'6".
Well, he's 6'6", and then Povetkin 6'2", 6'3". How does that work?
Well, Povetkin's very, very quick.
Yep.
As is Martin.
Okay.
And Martin's got obviously a longer reach than Povetkin as well.
Yep.
So if Joshua can walk past that, he'll find Povetkin relatively easy.
Okay. I'll see Povetkin's got that. If Povetkin, okay, Povetkin's got the gold medal experience as an Olympian. Obviously, Bakole hasn't got that. Does that make a difference in the pro game, do you think, when it comes to sparring?
No, because if I was offered the Povetkin fight on the 22nd of September for Martin Bakole, I would take it in the fullest of confidence that we'd beat him.
What gives you that confidence?
What I see in the gym every day. He's just an exceptionally talented fighter. Anybody, I mean, we've been in a fortunate position. We've sparred in England with Derek Chisora, Nathan Gorham, Daniel Dubois, Ian Lewisham, Anthony Joshua, Tom Little. I'm sure each and every one of them will tell you how good he is.
Tell me the difference in the gap between like an Anthony Joshua and a Nathan Gorham, or Anthony Joshua and a Daniel Dubois. What's the gap? Let's say Dubois and Joshua in terms of development and time and everything. Is Dubois that far off from a Joshua when you see sparring sessions?
Daniel Dubois and Nathan Gorham are two fine fighters. Both what you've got to remember, both of them are young. Both Anthony Joshua's got man strength, he's naturally stronger than these boys are now, just because he's older and stronger. He's been in the pro game a bit longer as well. There's a good bit of difference now, but that difference will close as the boys get older and gain more experience and do more championship level fights.
Tell us, what does sparring do for a fighter? Because I've known some fighters have had world-class sparring for many years, but when it comes to them actually fighting, they can't perform. So does it mean anything, this sparring, apart from getting a guy in shape and being sharp?
Well, it does. I mean, some guys need more sparring than others. I personally knew a guy up in Scotland that had, I think, 6 championship domestic and European title fights, and I think he lost each and every one of them. But in the gym, the guy couldn't get touched. He was fantastic. Just on the night, it just all depends. It's been a complete fighter, they know how to do it in the gym to a certain level, but producing on. I mean, I'd rather have somebody that produces on the night than in the gym. Let's be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
You don't want a gym fighter. You want a fighter that produces on the night. But it's just a shame. It's just a shame. Some guys look absolutely outstanding in the gym. There's no pressure in the gym. Pressure's on the night, and it's the guys that can handle the pressure and produce the goods at the same time will rise to the top.
What do you think? I mean, from me personally as a coach, not in the sport of boxing, but in the sport of cricket, I always train my guys under pressure, so they're used to pressure. Do you think that works the same way in boxing? Like, for example, you turn the lights off in the gym and then you have low lights and maybe, make the atmosphere more like a real fight. Does that help, or does that not make a difference?
I couldn't see how it could possibly make a shred of difference. It just you've either got it, you've not got it. It's as simple as that.
What about sports psychologists, though? Sports psychologists would argue you, NLP would argue you and say, well, that mentality can be changed by having the brain reprogrammed.
Well, they can say what they want. Do you think turning off a light's going to make or dimming a light's going to make any difference to you holding a punch or not?
Well, you know what?
The only thing that will happen is you possibly get your lights turned out and get knocked out. Jesus Christ.
So, wait, hold on, but Billy, all those sports psychologists out there who would suggest stuff like turn the lights low and making it more realistic and make it feel as if it's a real boxing bout. These sports psychologists are out, these NLP people are out there. So there must be something in it. George Groves, Carl Froch went to a guy who's a sports psychologist. Supposedly Steve Collins went to a sports psychologist. And many others have gone to get their mind right for big fights.
No, they get them thinking positively. They don't turn lights out in a gym. They have them thinking positive thoughts. Take positive for negatives.
I've heard
not having fight-like atmospheres in a gym. How can you have a fight-like atmosphere in the gym?
Listen, I'm not the NLP guy, so it didn't come to me, but I was told this information. One of the ideas was turn the lights down low in the gym and put music, like sound in the background, like for the atmosphere of the audience, and then get a guy coming at you like a real fight. That's how they said that was a way to get it out of the mentality of a boxer that he was just a gym fighter.
Well, I'll try that on Wednesday with David Brophy when he's sparring. I'll turn the lights out and turn some Whitney Houston on in the mute for the music.
I think I'll have to get that guy on, that sports psychologist on, and you talk. I think it'll be a very interesting conversation.
No, I'm not saying that it doesn't help. It doesn't help certain people, you know. But like I say, it's for a sports psychologist. You need to. I think you need to be a person of a weak mindset, and or a weaker mindset. In the first instance, you have to go and seek support.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Let's talk a little bit more boxing. Let's talk about the heavyweight division. What happened over the weekend? Chisora, Takam.
Second fight, I thought Derek Chisora had done it exceptionally well. You know, he was getting a bit of a hard time for the first 5-6 rounds, and he pulled the butt. I mean, what a beautiful lovely shot it was, wasn't it?
Beautiful, absolutely.
I actually think the referee could have stopped the fight after the first knockdown.
Yep, absolutely. But
I think he took the second shot unnecessarily. But you know,
having said that, in retrospect, people were complaining about the Takam stoppage against Joshua and thought, well, he wasn't really stopped. It was a bit of a referee jumping in prematurely. So I guess this time they wanted to be sure that when Takam got dropped, he got stopped legitimately.
Well, I'd rather be safe than be sorry.
I agree with that as well. White versus Parker. Your thoughts?
Again, it was a good fight. I don't think Parker gives 100% in his fights. I don't know why that is. Another 10-15 seconds, I think Dylan White was done.
Yep.
I think it exposed a bit of Dylan White. You know, it showed a degree of weaknesses there, which other fighters I'm sure will capitalise on.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you know, he's only had how many fights? Dylan had about 16, 17.
Mm-hmm. I think it's about is it 21 fights in it now?
21 fights now.
Yeah.
Well, if he fought the likes of Martin Bakole, I think he would be stopped.
That was late on in the fight. I mean, he dropped Parker before that. I thought he controlled the fight.
A head clash can be actually worse than a flash knockdown.
Yeah.
Because you know the head clash will take a whole lot more out of you, and you know he got a 10. He was losing that round. So that would have been 10-9 to Parker.
Right.
And eventually went to 10-8 to Dylan.
Okay.
That would have made a huge difference in the scorecards.
Right.
Scorecards were a lot closer. Certainly what the TV experts said it would be.
You love the TV experts, don't you?
Oh, you sometimes wonder if they could read a book, let alone a fight.
I think you need to get a job with Sky. What do you think, Billy?
I don't think so.
Just for
I tell you, one of the biggest losses for Sky, in my opinion, was Glenn McCrory. Glenn McCrory called it how it was. He's a great reader of a fight, but he called it as it was, irrespective if you were a home fighter or the away fighter. He called it the way it was. And, you know, I thought he was a great analyst.
Great. Him and Ian Dark.
Ian Dark was very good as well.
I miss Ian Dark. Right. So, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. What do you think of it all? Do you think it's going to happen? What are your thoughts on the Fury comeback, Pianeta and Safa Safari?
The fight with Pianeta, I got offered that fight for Martin Bakole, but the guy pulled out. I think Tyson will stop this guy this time. He'll be more focused. I mean, I don't think he could have been pleased with his comeback fight. I think he'll be a lot more focused in this fight. He'll stop the guy. I hope he fights Wilder. You know, he obviously thinks he's ready to do it. He's the man. He'll know better than anybody. It's all right for me to say. If I was his coach, I'd prefer maybe one other fight. But You know, I'm knowing that.
That this is a cash out fight, and basically Tyson's taken a gamble with Warren to because money's been invested and money needs to be recouped. That's what I don't know how true these stories are regarding the BT deal and regarding the Box Nation, the former Box Nation deal. Things are not going so well, and money needs to be recouped, and hence that's why there's a big rush for Fury to fight Wilder rather than wait until 2019. Is there any possibilities in that?
No idea.
Okay. And what about if go ahead? No idea. Okay. And what about if a fighter like Fury, is there a possibility? This is more speculative. Fury's gone back to training, and he found that he's not the fighter he once was, and B, he doesn't have the motivation to stay around in the sport.
I'm no round about his circles or in his training camp and anything like that. Only Tyson Fury will know that.
So
I personally can't see it being a cash out fight. Tyson's a millionaire as it is, isn't it? So,
right.
You know, what's the difference of looking in the bank and seeing, just hypothetically, 50 million or 20? There's a big difference. He's going to have enough money, hopefully, to last him the rest of his lifetime and his family's for years to come. So I can't see how anybody could think about a cash out fight.
But okay, but that's from Tyson Fury's perspective. What about for Frank Warren? Maybe money.
I couldn't speak for Frank Warren. I don't know his business.
Okay. But do you think Fury can get himself in shape in time for this fight against Wilder?
He's 18 stone 9. That's running about his fighting weight.
Okay.
He's got if the fight's the predicted November, December time, he's still got 4 or 5 months to get ready.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to still could get ready 5 months. Especially if he's got a fight in a couple of weeks as well.
Yep. And you think Tyson Fury on full form, the Fury that fought Klitschko could beat Wilder?
Give him a boxing lesson.
Okay. And what about the Fury that fought?
Not just a boxing lesson, an out boxing lesson.
Okay.
It'll be a boxer versus somebody that punches correctly.
Right.
Straight, and somebody that boxes, quite wildly.
Okay. Is there anything to be concerned about in terms of Deontay Wilder's punching power against Fury?
Of course there is, because he's a big puncher at heavyweight. But then again, what if Fury hits him on the money?
That's true.
Can Wilder take a shot?
He seems to take
Wilder a couple of times against 13 then.
Yep.
I'm sure Tyson Fury punches every bit as hard as, but he certainly punches a lot more correctly than what Deontay Wilder does. So there's every chance Wilder could get stopped by Fury.
Yep, that's true. That's very true.
Listen, if you're a gambling man, the only hope, in my opinion, that Wilder's got is by stopping him, because he certainly won't outbox him.
Mm-hmm. That's where the smart money is. That's where the smart money is. Fury by points, Wilder by knockout.
I don't think Wilder will knock him out at all. If anybody's going to stop the other, I think Fury will stop him, because he punches correctly. He'll walk into punches that he won't see.
Yep.
There's only one winner in that fight, and it's a small word with a big meaning, the Tyson or anywhere near the Tyson that fought the Klitschko.
If he's not,
then he's going to get in trouble. But why he wouldn't take the fight otherwise? He's a fighting man. He's not no school, is it?
Now, I don't doubt. I've never, not for one second, doubted Fury's heart or his fighting ability or anything like that. But surely, in an ideal world, the fight should happen in 2019.
Well, ultimately, Deontay Wilder's hopes be built for infrastructure, and it's not happening. So it's certainly the next best thing, isn't it?
Okay, fair enough. What are your thoughts on Hughie Fury versus Kubrat Pulev? You're breaking up a bit, by the way, Billy.
Is that better now?
That's better. Go ahead.
That's going to be another good tight fight. You know, politics-wise, he's got everything against him going over there against the local favourite. But he's certainly got the skills and the ability to beat the guy.
I actually think he can stop Pulev, by the way. I actually think he'll stop Pulev.
Well, but take the hassle of getting contentious decisions for judges out of the equation, wouldn't it?
He's going to have to stop him. He can't go off the back foot and box. He's going to have to get on the front foot against Pulev and go stop him, because I can't see him raising his hands in Bulgaria.
Well, it's a bit easier said than done, because naturally Hughie boxes off the back foot and he's a very good slip fast counter puncher.
Yes. But I guess he'll have to come out his comfort zone for this one.
Sorry?
He'll have to come out of his comfort zone for this one.
Well, and he knows that before he took the fight, and he's been man enough to take the fight.
Yep. Okay. Is there anything else? There's obviously it's just been announced that Dubois is going to be fighting Kevin Johnson. Your thoughts?
An excellent learning fight for young Daniel. That's a good fight. I think it's fair to say that Johnson is the kind of the higher echelons here. Now, but he'll certainly give. I would imagine he'll give Daniel more rounds than what he's been before.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to watching him again. Yeah, I thought he done well against Tom. I thought he boxed the best he's boxed against Tom Little.
Okay.
I thought his variety was good. He looked quite sharp.
Okay.
Good sparring. Yeah, it's good sparring for that fight.
When you listen to the back and forth between Warren and Hearn and the contract between Joshua and Wilder, what are your thoughts being inside the boxing game and a training? You hear things. What are your thoughts? Where do you stand with this?
Well, and first, I've been asked what I think about it. I've no real genuine thoughts about it, because it doesn't affect me and any of my fighters. But if you want to fight, you'll make the fight. If indeed it's the case that Wilder and Tyson Fury have fought, it's only been a matter of days that they've arranged this fight. That's how easily it can get done. If you really want the fight, you'll make it, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. I've said a number of reasons why I think the fight can happen and will happen. Simply because Fury and Wilder actually do get on behind the scenes. They get on pretty well. Frank will probably get the fight done faster, because obviously I think he'll get the job done faster than the Hearns will, because they've got other plans. I think they always wanted to fight Povetkin, and then in 2019 fight Wilder. So they had a different agenda.
But then there's B plans, isn't there? Let's Dylan White.
Yes.
Possibly fighting Chisora again in December, and then the winner possibly fighting. It's all ifs and buts, isn't it?
It is.
The winner possibly fighting AJ, and then keeping it all in house.
Of course, that's where the way to do it. And if I were Deontay Wilder, you've got a choice. You could fight Chisora, you could fight White, or you could fight Fury. Which one do you fight?
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. What's the bigger fight?
Fury versus Wilder.
Anthony Joshua versus Povetkin, or Wilder versus Fury?
Wilder versus Fury.
That's it then, isn't it?
What do you think?
Well, I'm of the same ilk. I believe that's a bigger fight as well.
However, people will tell you about ticket sales and gates and how
because Anthony Joshua is very marketable. He's very marketable, and he's a very nice guy, and he deserves everything that he gets and has got.
Yes,
that's the only difference. Wilder couldn't sell a telephone box out in America, you know what I mean, and he will want home advantage against Fury, which is all well and good. And Fury's stepped up to the plate and accepted the challenge, I think.
Do you think the change of trainer makes a difference in the big fight against Wilder?
I have no idea. I don't know his new trainer. I don't know him on a personal basis, but I do know Peter Fury.
Right.
I know Peter's a very good coach.
Right. So, do you think that would make a difference? Obviously, not having Peter Fury in the corner, having another trainer in the corner who's a lot younger, less experienced.
I don't know, because I don't know what relationship they've got. How, you know, that's obviously a good. He's happy enough with it, so
yep.
You can only take it on that basis.
Okay, I guess so. Callum Smith, George Groves, your thoughts?
Good fight, eh? That'll be a cracker. Saudi Arabia, though, eh? why is that not in Manchester or Birmingham?
Yeah, it does sound a bit odd, doesn't it?
Because Callum didn't sell a lot of tickets, and George does. So I thought that would have been a London fight, 100%. But being over in Saudi Arabia, obviously there's backers over there that are paying for the full shebang. So, and you kind of blame the promoters for taking it there then. But it'll be a good fight. It'll be a cracking fight.
Absolutely.
I would favour George Groves. So.
Okay. Golovkin, Canelo 2?
I fancied Canelo the first time.
Yep, so did I.
I would fancy him again, if I'm perfectly honest.
And your final thoughts on Usyk versus Gassiev, the final?
Great fight. Well, great exhibition of boxing.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was, isn't it?
You know, it's... well, I tell you, if they wanted a warm-up fight at that heavyweight, Martin... See, the night of that fight...
Yes.
Martin Bakole texted me and said, I'd love to fight Usyk. He says, I love fighting southpaws. He said, he's a very good southpaw. He says, I'd love that fight. No many people would ask for a fight, would they?
No, but he's crazy enough to do it, eh?
No, he's not crazy enough. He's good enough.
Well, yeah, of course, but you have to back yourself. And when you back yourself, you have to have that element of what's the word?
Confidence.
Yeah. But you know, I would perceive it as crazy, because I think, well, hold on, you need a few more fights before you take on someone like Usyk, you know, or Usyk.
But that's the thing, he doesn't. Martin Bakole at present can fight any man on the planet, and I mean that. In all seriousness, anybody. Okay,
now let's close this off. Now, you said to me the last time that you would have some news about Martin Bakole. You said to me that, you know, closer to the end of you'd like to see him in a title fight, or there'd be a title fight, or he would fight somebody of some notoriety. What is the latest news on this, or do you not have any news yet?
No, we're most definitely fighting for a title to get us in the top 15 of the world. A couple of names get mentioned yesterday, one of which I'm very keen on. Whether the fight can get made or not is a different matter. It's the boy, Christ, what's his name? Ustinov. Is it Ustinov?
Yes.
Alexander Ustinov. I fought Manuel Shah.
Yeah, I know Ustinov. I watched Ustinov spar Derek Chisora when he was in camp for the second fight between Fury and Chisora, and Chisora damaged his thumb that day.
I think he's something like 32, 34 and 2.
Yes.
You know, good fighter. He get beat with Manuel Shah. He's number 13 in the WBA or WBC rankings.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good fight for Martin.
That is a good fight.
I also got approached this morning by a Dutch boy that's over in America, and you know he's looking to fight in Britain. He's number 10 in the WBO.
What's his name?
Something Sponge.
Okay.
Spog or something like that. He's Dutch. He's based in Miami.
Okay.
I'll be perfectly honest. I watched some of his fights, and he's fighting guys that are light heavyweights, and they're heavyweights in a light heavyweight body.
Okay.
He's fighting way inferior opposition to Martin Bakole. Get his eyes opened wide there, so he would. How he's number 10 in the WBO is beyond me, but gladly take his ranking. Can
you once again clarify the weight and height of Martin Bakole? Some people are asking how big Martin Bakole is.
What he'll be on fight night, and his next fight will be roughly 17 stone 10, 6'6".
There we go.
He was overweight in his last fight. He was 19-4 in his last fight. The only reason being he was out for 6 months with a bad back, and he'd only been training, I reckon, a week in Congo and then 3 weeks in Britain before the fight. And he only had 4 spars with Daniel Debo.
Okay. So Martin Bakole, 6'6", and
18 stone.
18 stone. So that's to clarify that. And where is Bakole?
Give or take a burger.
Give or take a burger. And where is he ranked at the moment in the last rankings you saw?
Well, he's number 1 in Africa.
Okay.
He's number 1 in Africa, and I think he's about 60 or something like that, and on box rec. But I'll see some of the guys that are above him. They just simply shouldn't be above him.
Okay.
So many. My opinion, right now, Martin's a top 10 heavyweight in the world. Easy.
Okay. People want to see Martin Bakole fight. They want to see him against better opposition, obviously, to see where he at. And on that subject, I will close on this. What's your thoughts on Mr. Anthony Yarde?
I think he's a good fighter. I just, you know, it's just like to see him in against top fighters. But anyway, he's number 2 in the world.
No,
he's
ranked number. He's actually ranked number 1 in the world by the WBO.
How is he number 1 in the world? He's no number 1 in Britain. How can that be the case?
I had the debate. I had this discussion with Tunde Ajayi, which will be on the channel.
I'm asking you the question. I'm asking you. I'll reverse the question on you. How can he be number 1 in the world?
Very simple. Very simple. Very simple. I think when he's got 2 though. I think he's got 2 of those WBO titles. One's a WBO European title and a WBO something else title. And also, whether we want to accept it or not, he's with Frank Warren. So, you know, we know that.
No, I understand what his promoter is, but he's not proved himself the best in Britain yet.
I understand that. I totally understand that. And I'm
not saying the guy's not a good fighter. He is a good fighter.
Yes.
And I tell you what he is. He's a right nice person as well. I met him in a Peacock.
Yeah.
An absolute gentleman. But it's just, and I'm not pointing him out in particular.
Yeah.
It happens with a few fighters in different organisations as well.
Yep. I understand, and I totally understand. I understand, and trust me. I asked Tunde Ajayi, the interview's coming out soon, or it'll come out later today. I asked him about his number 1 ranking, and I said to and Yarde and Tunde both said, "Listen, we didn't go to the WBO and put ourselves in those rankings. We've just been doing the fighting." So, you know, that's their response to it. And all I can say to that is, no, I don't see why he's number 1 ranked in the world. I don't think he should be ranked number 1 in the world. But that's how they've got it. So what can you do?
Do you know it'd be a cracking fight?
What's that? Who's that?
Callum Johnson versus Anthony Yarde.
Unfortunately, Callum Johnson's fighting for the world title against Berbatov.
No, I know that. I know that. That'll be some fight, wouldn't it?
It would be some fight. They're both big punchers. It'd be a great fight. But what about how do you think Buglioni would go against Yarde?
Again, that would be a better test than most of the guys that he's fought so far, wouldn't it?
Okay, but do you appreciate he's only had 10 or 12 novice amateur bouts, and they're trying to build him on the road?
No, well, it's kind of contradicting what you're saying, what we're saying about his ranking, then, isn't it?
Of course. No, I understand. He should be having that ranking.
Wait a minute. You're building somebody up as the number one in the world.
Well,
you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, but so you ask yourself the question: how did that happen?
I would like to think the building has been complete if you're number one in the world.
That's true. That is true. That is very true.
And with the fullest of respect to Anthony, and he's an honest person. He'll tell you that he's not a complete package or anywhere near it yet.
Exactly. That's what he told me as well.
But you're number one in the world. Okay.
Well, okay. If Martin Bakole was in that situation, today, would you complain about it?
You wouldn't complain about it, but it's a false representation of your ability.
I totally agree with you, but you'd make the most of it, right?
But you would try to. But would it be to your detriment? I think it would.
Yeah, of course it would. Of course it would.
But boxing's not like a game of football. You can't get subbed.
Of course.
If you're in against a guy that's it, I mean, wait, would you put Anthony Yard in against
Callum
Johnson's next opponent?
No, hell no.
But if you're number one in the world, it means you're worthy of fighting anybody.
But hold on a second. Let's wind the clock back a bit. Callum Smith was ranked number one in the world by the WBC for the longest while, and he hadn't fought nobody in the top 10. In fact, he hadn't fought nobody in the top 20.
Well, there you go.
So there he's right there, Callum Smith.
And he, as I said to you earlier, I'm not pinpointing Anthony.
No, I know.
Because he's a cracking fighter.
Of course. But it's even...
Just, it's the promoters have dominance over some of the organisations.
Of course. That's what I said to you. And, you look at someone like Callum Smith, he hadn't fought nobody at the time in the top 10 or the top 20. He pulled out of or rejected fights against some of the top fighters, world champions, didn't want to get involved with them. Okay. And he was ranked for a good 2 years, ranked number one by the WBC, number one contender. And
I'll tell you something, because I know Callum. I know him pretty well.
Yep.
Callum would fight anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that decision's not getting made for him. Maybe that decision, is getting made for him to not fight X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, Callum's got a much more extensive background to Anthony Yard as an amateur.
Aye.
So that's another thing. So when you put the two guys in the same room, Yard and Smith has got a hugely extensive amateur background to Yard, who only had 10 or 12 novice fights.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's something that I know people don't really want to get into that stuff about his amateur career. He's ranked number one in the world, so he should fight the best guys in the world. And I fully understand that and do agree with it to that point. But when you look at what Yard's done in his career, maybe he shouldn't have that WBO ranking at number one.
Well, here's the thing for you, right?
Pardon?
If he's number one in the world,
yeah.
What was his last opponent's ranking?
That's a good question. Sec, I don't know. I'll have to look at that.
We'll have a look at that, and then say, well, should number one in the world be fighting? Well, should we hazard a guess? 150, 200?
No, he wasn't ranked that lowly, I don't think. I'll tell you now.
No.
Let's see now.
It's irrespective of what it was.
Okay, well, he's ranked number 4 in Poland, and he's ranked 71 in the world.
71.
Ranked 71 in the world.
Would you call that a fair match then? Be 71.
Oh, this is the same guy, I believe, that fought. Look at this guy here. Hold on. Let's see here. Let me look at Anthony Yard. Yard fought Saloka in his 2 fights before that, and Saloka, he TKO'd Saloka, And Callum Smith, I think, fought Soloka. So he fought Callum Smith fought Soloka, and he went to points. Yard fought him and stopped him. But there's a gap between the time when he fought when Smith fought him was 2014, down at super middleweight, and at 2017, Yard fought him 13-0 and stopped him.
When he's 4 years older.
Yep. Yard has got the World Boxing Organization European light heavyweight title, and he's got the World Boxing Organization Intercontinental light heavyweight title. So I don't know. Look at I'll go to the WBL rankings, and I know for sure there are guys going to be more experienced in the light heavyweight division than him, for sure. All the top guys in that light heavyweight division have had extensive amateur background experience. Now, I'm not making excuses. That's just the way the rankings.
No, it's not an excuse. It's far from an excuse. It's just the way it's landed, the way the position he's in. I just think personally, he's just too high for his ability, don't I? And I'm not doubting his ability. I'm doubting that he could become a world champion.
Yep.
At present, he's not a world class fighter.
No, because there's nothing to suggest he is, or he's proven.
No. But that, I mean, he may prove us all wrong. It's a bit like the Martin Bakole situation.
Yeah,
he's not fought anybody to suggest, but I know what I see in the gym every day. I know he's been in against guys that are supposed to be top fighters, and he schooled them.
We'll
so you know it's there. But Martin's not ranked #1 in the world.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Is it not to do with who your promoter is and how much pulling power they've got?
Very much. Well, it could. Of course, that's instrumental. Of course, that's a big part of it. Of course, that is.
So I guess that might have something to do with it. Okay, Billy, is there anything else you'd like to talk to us about before you disappear?
No.
Quite clear. Okay, Billy Nelson, thank you so much for talking to BWTM Sports. And at some point, I'd like to get down to the gym. Well, get up to the gym, because we're right down the south. We'd like to come up to the gym one day and see how things operate up in Glasgow.
No, that won't happen. No. I'm only kidding.
I know. Billy, thank you so much as always, and we look forward to speaking to you soon.
All the best. Cheers.
You take care, champ. Bye-bye. So there you have it. Billy Nelson giving us the breaking news story that Martin Bakole will be in camp. He will be Anthony Joshua's chief sparring partner for the next 4 to 5, I think 4 to 5 or 5 to 6 weeks. He will be Anthony Joshua's chief sparring partner for the Povetkin fight. He's also talked about a fight potentially with this man, Martin Bakole, against Ustinov. So they're looking at that fight. So that could be very interesting. That's it from us at BWTM Sports. We'll be back later on. But we'll be uploading videos. That interview with Tunde Ajayi when I challenged him about the world #1 world ranking. We've got also further breaking news story regarding Anthony Yard and his trip to America to watch Kovalev versus Alvarez and Bivol versus Chilimbe. Right, that's it from BWTM Sports. We're out. Thanks for watching.